had the pleasure of working with Spencer a couple of years ago when he was elected senior patrol leader. It didn't surprise me at all that he was elected. It seems that all the younger scouts enjoy being around Spencer. I know how much Spencer enjoys being the center of attention and how much he loves talking to people. He did a great job as SPL. He showed maturity and understanding that the younger scouts liked and needed the attention of the older scouts. At our annual Webelos campout, you wouldn't believe how many times I heard, "Hey Spencer, hey Spencer." Did you get tired of that? Yeah. I don't think so. I think you could tell by the smile on his face he loved every minute of it. It seems that Spencer enjoys working with Cub Scouts at Rocolio. We see Cubs at different events we attend, and there's always scouts that remember Spencer from summer camp. I know his dad brought him to everything, but Spencer always seemed to enjoy coming to almost everything our troop did since he joined. As proof, he still shows up to most things. Even though his dad doesn't drag him along, he drives himself now. Spencer will always be remembered as being part of Captain Robbie's Bro Scouts. He'll remember the many experiences and have so many memories, all that from staying in Scouts. Spencer Weinandt.
Here is Eagle Scout Adam Bodensteiner to come forward and present Spencer with his eagle.
It is an honor to present Spencer with the honor of Eagle Scout, but he did not accomplish this task alone. He was guided on scouting's trail by adult leaders and led by scouts who traveled the trail before him. He was further encouraged and supported by those at home who loved him. No one will ever know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from the mother of the Eagle Scout, which has led us to this moment. As the symbol of what this mother has made possible, the court now asks you to present your mother a miniature eagle pin. Your father has stood by you over the years and has offered his encouragement and assistance. As the symbol of what he has contributed to your attainment of this award, the court now asks you to present him a miniature eagle tie tack. Will the parents please pin the eagle medal on your son and replace the troop neckerchief with a symbol of his achievement? Spencer, would you like to share a few words with us about your scouting experience?
Alrighty. So, these last few years in Boy Scouting have been some of the best opportunities anybody could have asked for, including things like sailing and snorkeling off the coast of the Keys to the miles and miles of hiking up and down, and up and down, then up and down some more in the mountains of West Virginia at the Bechtel Summit. Not to mention the hours upon hours of traveling to these events. In 2013, I took advantage of another opportunity and went out to the Bechtel Summit for National Jamboree. We spent a total of 16 hours on a bus, cramped with about 50 other smelly teens that we'd only met a couple of months before. But in this case, the scout spirit came through in all of us. Within the hundreds of renditions of Sweet Caroline, and the 200 renditions of their popular Scout songs, we had a sense of family by the end of the 10-day trek to the Jamboree, especially when we all had to rip up our campsite and drain it through the Orange County campsite because it rains every day in West Virginia. But this fall is the same for any one of our other Scout events, though. Going to Sea Base, for example, where 8 of us were cramped into a 40-foot sailboat with a scraggly-beard, hippie-type Alabama native captain whose lifelong dream was to own a pet sloth. And the only rules on the boat were don't put sunscreen on the stairs because you will slip, fall, and die. And between sliding around in puddles of our own sweat, eating probably 20-plus cans of Pringles, and snorkeling with the sharks and barracudas off the waters of the Keys, none of us would change it for the world. Scouts has always been a very important factor in my life. Everybody in my life knew not to bother me Tuesday nights because I was probably at Scouts, or the fact that I probably couldn't come over to their house on a Friday night because I was probably leaving for a campout. But on top of these 190-some nights I racked up of camping, I still somehow was able to keep a social life and work a job every other season of the year. Working at Camp Rockall Island in the summer provided me with a home away from home with plenty of people to further my scouting career with. We get to prepare all these rambunctious 6 through 9-year-olds for their future endeavors in scouting. Camp meals would always start the same way, though. What's your guys' name? What building are you staying? Where are you guys from? Did you sleep well? What are your activities for the day? What do you like the most? What are you looking forward to doing? You guys have any scripts prepared? These answers usually came with a mouthful of food and adults trying to comprehend what they said. Also at camp, all the adults really like to credit themselves with going to camp for like 7 years straight. But looking at their logic, those are 7 half weeks, so most of us camp staff have been there for half a century. No big deal. I would have never made it this far in Scouts if it wasn't for some people in my life, though. Most importantly, my parents. The two that I knew would never lose faith in me, and the ones that would always push me to be the greatest I could be. If I was ever questioning my decision, I could always ask them. They have led me to do so many things, like joining Scouts while I was back in elementary school, and giving me rides to and from, then back to, because I probably forgot something at the meeting, to all of my scouting events. Not to mention my father's an eagle, and I've always wanted to follow in his footsteps. Secondly, a big thanks to all my peers within the troop, especially those guys from the White Rhinos who always gave me a reason to show up to the meetings. It's never a dull moment when those guys are around. A big thanks goes out to all those who helped me with my Eagle project, even if the date changed multiple times and we put the legs together wrong 3 or 4 times. A few more people that have helped me on my way have been the 4 different Scoutmasters that I've had in the troop: Mr. Johnson, Mr. Scanlon, Mr. Biandera, and Mr. Schilling. Jim Ranke, who had helped with all the behind-the-scenes work at the city to get my project done, and finally, every one of you in attendance today. I realize that some of you have no idea who I was until today, but thank you for being part of everyone's life here that is an Eagle. In addition, I would like to award my mentor pin to the man who helped when the times were tough in my Eagle career and would give the extra little boost when I needed to get these things done. Not only has he helped me through the rough points in Scouts, but also through the really rough ground for my Eagle project with the most efficient shoveling skills. My mentor pin is going to my uncle, Brian Weinandt. Would you please join me up here?
I didn't see that coming.
Thank you, everybody.